Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to a township called Gruyere, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Gruyere is a town in Victoria, Australia. It's 52 kilometres or 32 miles northeast from Melbourne Central Business District, located within the Shire of Yarra Ranges local government area. The suburb is often referred to as the Toorak of Yarra Valley, and this was quoted by Sir Peter Taylor of Lyndhurst as it was the choice location for wealthier retirees. Gruyere has a strong farming and agricultural roots, with many local farmers with a variety of products such as apples, pears and cattle. The town is possibly named for the variety of cheese, as the area's history is in the dairy industry. The name, originally the parish of Gruyere in 1859, was adopted as a suggestion of a local Swiss wine maker or grower, a person by the name of Paul de Castella, as the area's history is in the dairy industry. Gruyere is a town in Switzerland. K. Hilton Post Office first opened on the 20th of August 1892. It was renamed Gruyere in 1950 and closed in 1960. Gruyere District gained its first school in 1876, which was transferred to a site originally named Gruyere South in 1889 and later just renamed Gruyere. The school is now closed due to lack of pupils and is the main building in the village, which also has a recreation reserve, a CFA fire station and a hall. There are several small vineyards in Gruyere, part of the Yarra Valley wine growing area. Now, once again, and as per usual, any credits, references, or the voiceover information I've just provided can be all seen in the description below, and I'll leave links for all that sort of stuff. So without further ado, let's check out the sights and sounds of Gruyere. So here we are at the Gruyere Reserve, and we'll take a quick wander around. So here we have the town hall, and you can hire it, and you just got to contact the Yarra Ranges Council. Oh, there actually is a number on the door there. I don't know if you can see it. And there's the sporting field, playground for the kids, and a pavilion, I guess, for the footy and cricket teams. We do have a few murals on these water tanks, and there is a bus stop, but I'm not sure if it's an active bus stop or not. So it could appear that it could be a bus stop that's actually active. Not 100% sure, and the murals appear to be of echidnas, and they definitely do have a Aboriginal feel about them, and they really do look good. I think it's fantastic. Looks great. So here we are at the football field. Great place for dog walkers, and the dogs can get a bit of a free run, chase that ball. So this is your playground from the other side. Obviously golfing is prohibited in this reserve. But once again, these country sporting grounds are always in really good nick. 10 times better than some of the Melbourne suburban fields. So much greener, so much more lushness about it, if that's the right word. This reserve has barbecues. They are for free. Same situation, you just press the button and away you go. So here we are at the hall. Some basic rules: no smoking within 12 metres of the building. Seems fair enough. It's a rural setting, so those that probably aren't aware that these sort of locations are very vulnerable to bushfires. So there's the contact details if you want to hire the hall out for whatever reason. So here's the Gruyere Telstra Exchange building, which lets you know that there is most likely internet and the phone service. I can tell you that it's a very peaceful location. Not too many cars on the road. It's a great day, the sun's out, blue skies everywhere. But it is a very tranquil township. Well, at least on this day it is. So there are some tennis courts at the reserve, but there is also horse trails. So if you're a local, it's pretty good. You get your own trails to go along, other than on your private property. So here's some rules about it. The sign is pretty bad. Could do with the pressure wash, or some with a bucket of water. Basically stays that to stay on the horse trail, ride slowly past other trail users, do not step up jumps or other obstacles. Horses must not be left unattended, not to ride more than 2 abreast, and approved safety headgear to be worn. That's all common sense stuff. So here we are at the Gruyere Primary School. Unfortunately, it's no longer operating, but it does look very much it's been maintained and looked after. Unfortunately, I think it was a case of low pupil numbers that had it closed down, which is quite interesting. So there's your bus stop for the school, but unfortunately it is no longer. Now, I'm not 100% sure if we'll be able to find the old part of the school. Did it get burnt down at any stage? And what the extensions are. To be fair, this looks quite modern, this part here. But what a great school. And look, you have to give credit where credit's due. Whoever's looking after the grounds here to maintain it is doing a great job. I do like the football field. I'm not the spring chicken I used to be, but I still reckon I could kick a goal from one end to the other. So for the little kids, it's probably a big challenge. For us old people, I think it's pretty easy. So you've got like I'm assuming that must be like the assembly area for the morning when they do their little parade, or it's a 4 square court for kids. Those that used to play 4 squares, I used to play it when I was a kid, and we're talking quite some time ago. Great playground, a lot of covered up area, but it is a shame. It's just one of those things that happens to some towns where a lot more sort of retirees come into the area than the younger generation, and unless you're into farming, the opportunities aren't that great. But I think things should be changing as we can now work from home for those who can work online. Now, I'm not sure about the internet service here, but I can only imagine that it's pretty good. We're only about an hour or so, or just over an hour drive from the CBD of Melbourne, so I'd imagine it has to be relatively good. So here's your classroom. It would have been fun back in the day. So yeah, it's all really in good order. Whoever's maintaining it is doing a good job. The cobwebs aren't doing the place any favours, but it is what it is, I guess. But some of the trees they got here are just lovely. It would have been pretty special to come to this school. I love this little pergola. That's a beauty. Imagine how on a nice day teaching a kid, or teaching say a dozen kids in this little outdoor setting. It'd be terrific. It's just one of those things that country schools can actually do. I have to admit, I've seen these. Look, I have lived in New York and near Battery Park. They had these everywhere, and this is the first time I've ever seen one of these in Australia. Now, it's all made out of concrete, and it's a table tennis court. Now, imagine some of these along the Yarra River near the city for the huge population explosion within the CBD. There's a large Indian and Chinese community of students, and I would imagine they would very much appreciate something like this. Their apartments are quite small and a bit dingy, to be fair, and to get out and have these made available for free, that's just an idea for the city of Melbourne. Now, I'm just walking to the front entrance of the school, and even though it might appear to be overgrown, it's actually quite nice. So the school number was 2956 back in the day. This is your entry. See, this window and the roof does look like original to the original building, but not from the photos that are in the at the start of this video. Now, I do believe also next door is what I believe to be the old post office. So the flag's up and the flag's there, which is terrific. And across the road is the CFA building. We'll have a look at that as well. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to come through, but the entrance and all the brick paving has actually got everyone's name. So I'm assuming they could be students as well as parents who sent their children here. So if you ever went to this school and want to have a bit of a memory reminder, and if you recall your family getting a brick done with your name on it, it's still here, which is great. Now, here we are just leaving the school. There's your bus stop for the school. So I'm assuming maybe that other bus stop we saw at the reserve is no longer in play. Now, this, I believe, is the post office. And if you are able to rewind to some of the older photos, just note the roof line and the design or the silhouette of the house, and I think you might get a match. That front window looks a lot bigger, but that's been changed and it looks more modern anyway. But I do believe that's the old post office. So here we have the Country Fire Authority, the CFA. This is their shed. I guess with some of the older photos that was presented earlier on, it's a huge improvement. And we'll have a look at the plaque and we'll see what the plaque says. So it looks like 1997 alterations and extensions to this building were opened. Now, I do like these letterboxes. I'm only going to guess and assume that they're for milking, for the transport of milk, for back in the day. It's sad that the school has closed. I think they're now known as ghost schools. It is wine country, and I did have a chat to the lady that was on the horse, and she said there's a lot of horsey people here as well. And I have to concur, you know, a lot of these paddocks are void of any real cattle, and it is all horses. So here we are nearing the end of this video or presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, but it helps out the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day.